Whenever I make videos talking about improving at the game, holding yourself accountable for your improvement, how you're playing, as well as your overall climb, I get a lot of comments that talk about MMR, LP gains, a whole bunch of things that aren't related to improving at the game. However, because it was so consistent, I feel that it is important to make a video on LP gains and why I think it's not relevant. The first thing to start off with is that if you're focusing on your LP, then it's really easy to get distracted from what you're actually doing in your games. If you're thinking, oh, I lost X amount of LP, so I have to win 2 games to make up for 1 loss, you're focusing on the wrong things. Actually look at your gameplay. Are you playing well? Keep doing that long run. Great. You'll go up. I don't care if it's slow. I don't care if you want it to be faster. You can't change that. So saying that doesn't really do anything for you. The only time that complaining about something would actually be worth doing is if you can change it. But if you can't change your LP gains, why bother? Focus on what you actually can control. Speaking of, there are technically a few ways that you can affect your LP gains, but a lot of people, when I give them these ideas, they don't actually like it because they realize that they're not really getting LP gains. For example, you can dodge games. Dodging games makes you lose LP every time you dodge. You also have to wait, but at least you lose LP, and that will then increase your future LP gains because your LP is going down and your MMR is not moving from dodging. Now, why do people not like this? Because they're losing LP from dodging. All people want when they cry about LP gains is to be given free LP. That's all they really want. And I'll get into that further later. Another way, technically, that you can improve your LP gains is by remaking games. I don't recommend you do this, but you could. Obviously, you'll end up getting punished eventually because you are AFKing, but remakes do not affect your MMR. So you lose a full game's worth of LP, plus you have the penalty that continues to remove LP. So in the short term, your LP is lower. In the long term, it kind of evens out because your LP is dropped closer to where your MMR is. Again, this is all going to be pretty much the same in the long term anyway, but in the short term, I guess it may make you feel a little bit better because your LP gains are higher, even though you're going to end up lower in the short term anyway, so it's pretty pointless. Another thing that people do is they will make a new account because fresh accounts have higher LP gains. That's a waste of time too, because if you really think about how many games you're playing on that fresh account, it would be faster to just climb regularly on the account you're already playing on. The reason that LP gains go down so much is because your MMR is lower than where your rank is. That's all there is to it. That's what causes it. But what does that mean? That means that in theory, those games should be easy for you. Let's say you're an Emerald 2 player and your MMR is Emerald 4. That means that you should consistently be able to win those games. Now, I'm not saying you need to have 70% win rate or anything like that, but you should be winning a good chunk of your games because you are playing in a ranking that's lower than you. So if you're not winning a whole lot more than you're losing, then maybe you're not an Emerald 2 player. Whereas when you have really good LP gains, you're playing against players that in theory are better than you because their ranking is higher than yours, but you're going up to play with them because your MMR is better than your current ranking. So you're having to play against tougher competition and you get rewarded more for it. So think of any time you have bad LP gains as easy games, and anytime you have good LP games as tougher games that you really have to work for. Obviously, this is just on average. There can be the exceptions where like some games, even though it's tougher MMR, can feel easier or vice versa, but overall, the majority of the time, that's going to be how it is. Back to what I said earlier on people want free wins or free LP. Again, they don't care about the individual plus 15, minus 30, whatever. They may say that, but what they really want is for their rank to go up without them actually improving. Because if your MMR is so much lower than your LP, so that you're playing in a significantly lower ranking, and you want to get even LP gains for it, then that's a problem. You should not be getting even LP gains. Instead, what you should do is either continue to win against the worst opponents, or screw it. You can sit there and dodge all the way down if you just really need that for your mental. And you may be thinking, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He hasn't played through plus 15, minus 30, so he has no experience with playing an Emerald. A lot of people seem to focus on Emerald for some reason in my comment section. I have an account that is currently High Diamond. That's my jungle account. Earlier this year, I was an Emerald because I lost a lot of games at D40, just kept losing because I was just going through a rut. It happens. I dropped to Emerald. When I was in Emerald, I was getting plus 15, minus 30, those exact LP gains. You can even see it in this screenshot where I'm getting plus 15. Then what did I do? I kept playing. I improved because eventually I got out of that rut in my head of just absolutely no confidence. I improved my gameplay back to where it was before, made it back to Diamond. What I would like for you to do, instead of thinking, that your account's doomed, you need to go next account, or there's no way you can climb because of the LP gains, look at your wins versus your losses. Is the discrepancy between the two continuing to go up? If that's what you have, that's all you need. Let's say you have 100 wins and 80 losses. If that goes up to 125 wins and 100 losses, great. You've gone up 5 wins compared to losses, and so that means you're making progress. Even if you don't see that progress immediately in your LP, as you continue to do that, your ranking will go up. It's not possible for you to keep doing that and your ranking not go up. As I said before, it may be slower than you like, but you can't control that. Just keep winning the games, keep improving as a player, and you'll get there. Bringing it all back to the beginning, I'm not saying that it can't be frustrating having those kind of gains. But you just have to be real with yourself and understand that it's not under your control. There's no point in focusing on it, because if you spend a whole bunch of time on that, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to make you more frustrated because you're going to keep thinking about things you can't control, and you're going to have a really miserable time. So instead, just focus on your gameplay, have fun trying to refine all of the things that you want to do in the game, whether you want to work on your minimap awareness or your last hitting, whatever. Just keep working on that, and it'll be a much more enjoyable process. If you do it properly, you'll climb anyway, even through the really bad LP gains, because eventually they will get better as you continue to have really bad LP gains. If you're getting plus 15 over and over and over and over, your LP is hardly moving compared to your MMR, and your MMR will catch up. That's what happened with my account.